last Friday we had a writer celebration, and I was completely proud and impressed of the way that you were telling your stories. The way that you zoomed in and you used your true exact details, and you started with a good lead and you wrapped it up. And I was also really enjoyed what you chose to write about, because I really felt like I got to know each of you a little bit better. Right, the things you hope for, the things you're worried about, the things you like and are interested in, the way you spend your free time. Even like Jack, who tries to create an adventure so he can have something to write about, and he wrote about it so beautifully. And all of your stories, each of your stories, Isabel's potato gun, where her dad comes to ask her to shoot a potato gun, and she's scared of it, but it's totally awesome, so she does it. But we are going to be looking at now, we started talking about this yesterday, writing personal narratives that are a little deeper, that go a little deeper into ourselves, where the readers can learn about us. And I think even when we write a deep personal narrative, we learn about ourselves a little bit more sometimes. And we looked at a couple yesterday. So today I'm teaching you about generating some ideas for these kinds of personal narratives. Let's do this too. Find the first blank page in your writer's notebook. We're going to try some of these out.
Can you write the date on it?
If it makes you happy, right?
September 9th.
A lot of times when we look at a story about ourselves, that is where we learn something deep about ourselves, it happens on a turning point in our life. And one of those can be like the very first time that you did something. Like in Owl Moon, the first time she went owling. And she learns about owling. She learns to be like her dad. She grows up a little bit. So on your first page, try this. Just put down on a heading, write down the first time I tried something. This could be, first time you tried something hard, like a sport, or climbing or swimming and diving into a pool. It could also be like the first time you did something that you now do every day. Like the first time you rode a bike. And you can say those things out loud. You can tell me those. Okay. All right. Or like the first time you read a book.
I have 8.
Good. Okay, give me a thumbs up now if you got at least 1 or 2 ideas on your page. Okay. Good. The next thing you could try is, let me put up here too, like something hard or something you do every day. The next thing you could try is think of the last time you did something. Right? Last year, Meg wrote this wonderful story about her last day at her old school, and how she kind of learned about herself that she can feel sad about something and excited about something at the same time. Think of like the last time you tried something or you did something. It could be like the last time that you saw a pet that you had that died or ran away, or the last time you saw somebody before you moved. If you've got some first time ones and some last time things, think of a time when you learned something about someone or about yourself. Last year, Anna wrote this amazing piece when she learned that she has this huge capacity for guilt. Like she went to a birthday party in Atlanta when she was 4 or something, and she stole a bracelet. And when she came back, like for years, she couldn't sleep at night because she thought about it every time she went to bed. She felt guilty. She couldn't go in her closet because that's where she was hiding it, and she felt guilty. And so she learned that she not only that she cares about people, and so she feels this guilt when she does something like that. But then she also found that when she called the person up and returned the bracelet and told them what they had done, and that she has this ability to like feel normal again. Like she's able to go to sleep, and she felt good about herself. You're finishing up putting down some of your bullets. I see some of you have a whole page of ideas. You have just generated a whole year's worth of ideas. Okay, some of you have. remember that when you sit down to write, that one of the most important things you have at the beginning of the writing process is an idea. And now you've got several ways to think of ideas, right? If you remember when you come in, if you have an idea and you want to write about it, that's what you write about. You're in charge of your writing. If you don't have an idea, remember, the writers write. Writers write. I just heard an interview on the radio with a writer, and the interviewer says, "Do you write every day?" And she says, "I do, but it's hard." She says, I'm a mom, I have a regular job, but every day I write at least for an hour. Even if I'm just writing down ideas, I write every day. And so you could write down a person, a place, or thing, and small moments with those places. You could think of the first time you did something, the last time you did something, when you learned something about yourself, or when something changed your life. Write down those small moments, the time when I. Put those ideas down. And then you can get right into the writing process, right? You're already knee-deep in the writing process if you're putting down an idea. So here's what I want you to do right now. As you are writing this morning, I want you to pick one of these ideas, okay, that you're going to write about. And as you organize your writing today, remember that timeline we did where you took your small moment and you did like a little bulleted timeline with like 3 or 4 or 5 small moments together, and each of those bullets was a paragraph. That really worked for a lot of you for organizing your writing. So I would encourage you that as you pick an idea today, sketch out a very quick timeline and then start writing. Remember starting with the... Pardon me?
Does it have to be on the subject the first time I tried something?
It could be on any of the ideas that you chose there. The first time, the last time, the think of...
What if you still want to do a small moments story, not like those? What if you still want to do stories that's not about any of that?
That's a good question. And first I want to just say that these are going to be small moment stories. Our personal narratives are going to use small moments.
Yes,
And-
why don't you can we write something different?
Yeah, I would like you to talk with me about that in a second here, just to see what that might be. But what I want you to try, and remember, like I've said before, you are in charge of your writing. But I do want you to explore today a little bit the trying to write something that has a moment of significance for you. And what I know about you, Ward, is that in your writing, you pretty much do that anyway. Like the story that you wrote the other day was really, the one that you did for the writer's celebration, was really a last time. The last time I'm going to ever do that is how you ended it, right? You said, I'm never going to do that again. And that was a wonderful personal narrative that brought us into that thing. And actually, a lot of you in that writer's celebration last time read stories that were like this. The first time I tried to wakeboard. First time I shot a potato gun. Last time I ding-dong ditch, right? And most of you did this. And this is just a strategy, Ward, for coming up with ideas for those kinds of stories a little faster. Okay?
Okay, now I get it.
You got it? Excellent. So pick a story that you're going to do today. Try sketching out a timeline, because that really worked for a lot of you in organizing your writing and bringing the reader through that experience. What's that? You just did your timeline?
Yeah.
And once you finish your timeline, write. Okay? So find a place where you're comfortable and go write.
Could we do it like the Lucy Comes to Stay, where we have like a series of small moments?
That would be perfect, 'cause that's what that timeline would be really good for. Like, yes, it can definitely be a series of small moments. That was one of the things we put on our chart yesterday that good writers do. Jack had a brilliant question. Is it okay if we do it like the Lucy Comes Home story, where we write a series of small moments? And yes, that's what we looked at that for, because that's a great idea.